fight me.
What the hell was that?
Hello, and welcome to this part of the pond, the strange corner of YouTube, where we do reviews, deep dives, analyze Disney villains, and highlight cows. We don't know what to do now. I'm just happy we got her unstuck and out of the water. I'm your host, the Bullfrog, and the cameraman that's not here should be the Newt.
Face reveal at 100,000 subscribers.
But I highly doubt he'll take 2 hours of a drive to get here. So sound editing and camera work is 100% my fault. I just can't do that much about lighting. As you saw from that cold open, I just saw the new Star Wars show Acolyte. And everyone who's anyone is really bashing this film. It's an insult to the Force. This is a stain on the Star Wars franchise. Damn! This is just bad. It's horrible. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I know nothing about it. So, I decided to watch it. The Acolyte is based hundreds of years before Star Wars. So, the prequels and everything about it, everything is before everything, so they can create whatever they want.
Yeah, not bad.
They are free to do whatever they want, because it won't mess up the main storyline. I am kind of proud of that. The story is about how there's a character going throughout the galaxy hunting Jedi, and doing it in such an awkward way as our cold open. And the Jedi hunt Asha down and accuse her of these assassinations, and she's saying it's not her.
It was the one-armed man.
It's just not good. Look, I don't care for any of these characters because I know nothing about them. What you saw in that cold open, and I will make reference to it a lot because A, it was awkward, and B, this is how they try to hook me, and that's how they introduce their main character.
Ouch.
I don't know why. I don't know anything about their personality. She felt like a cardboard cutout walking through a cantina and then doing that. It made no sense. It was hard to take serious. It was stupid and ineffective. I did not like it. And I just don't care. I don't care for the characters. It's not that I'm being mean. I'm just don't know. And this is after I did the editing for Prince John, our Disney villain analysis. Because in the first few seconds when we meet him, we get his likes.
Beautiful, lovely taxes.
His dislikes.
Told you never to mention my brother's name.
His issues.
Mother always did like Richard best.
And how he achieved where he is right now.
Good idea. I hypnotized him and...
I know. And sent him off on that crazy crusade.
There was a lot of information I got within those few seconds we got with Prince John. In the Acolyte, I know squat diddly-aught nothing. And also, there was no mystery here. When we first got to meet the Mandalorian in the Mandalorian, his design was good. There was a Western silence to him. There was something there. And we haven't seen anything like that in Star Wars. Yeah, we have seen Jango Fett and Boba Fett. But when we got to see the Mandalorian, we realized there's something different about him. And we kind of hooked to that. When the Acolyte came on the cantina and started to wander around, I've seen this before. And I've seen it done better. This was just not good. It didn't leave a good taste in the mouth either. Ugh. And that's just not with her, but it's with every single character they introduce. You know nothing, and we don't get to know anything about their personalities that we can connect to.
Who are you people?
This character buildup is not good. And what makes it worse is there's this information that they have. And when they reveal this information of our main character, Asha, I can't help but go, wait, that was supposed to mean something? I am supposed to be invested because of this? It just felt something out of left field. It just came out of nowhere, and I'm going, wait, that is going to be important? How come we weren't told about this earlier? Actually, why did you structure it like this? I'm surrounded by strangers. I know no one. I kind of feel like they started it wrong. If they started more into the past of Asha and why this information they reveal us is so important, I could have went, oh, a little more. I wish they did that. But they decided to uphold that information until episode 3. The controversial episode that everyone's going, oh, how dare you? And episode 3, where the Force is no longer the Force, or it's something weird.
Same thread. A thread woven through all of existence.
Yeah, here's my take on that. This episode is going to be weird for a few things. First off, if you haven't seen Star Wars The Clone Wars, the cartoon, mind you, some of it will sound off. Why? Because these are space witches. I don't mean that as a little ism like they do in the original trilogy where they called the Jedi space wizards. No, these are real space witches that exist in Star Wars. And when you watch the cartoon, Star Wars The Clone Wars, later on in the series, they talk about these characters and the planet and the culture they go into. Actually, this is a huge aspect of Star Wars The Clone Wars. So this aspect of a cartoon is going to be highlighted in this show. And if you haven't seen that cartoon, it seems a little off. And this does go into one of my biggest things I dislike what Disney is doing. Marvelism. Where you have to watch so many things to understand what you're watching in one show. That is one of my big problems I have with this episode. You have to watch an entire cartoon to understand this episode. Heck, probably this whole season. This whole show of The Acolyte. Because I have to watch one thing. A, you already are on my nerves. And B, I am not mad like everyone.
Same thread. A thread woven through all of existence.
Oh, that's not the Force. The Force is everything and everyone. It connects us all. Well, if people are connected to this space magic and they have their own interpretations of it, I'm fine with that. That shows a little creativity and realism to it. That a lot of people can believe in one thing, but they have different interpretations of it. So they have a different description on what that is. And I know there's some people that are mad at, yeah, a little spoiler, but the witches of this oven who are in a lesbian relationship use the Force to create Asha. I'm fine with that. Why? Well, in the prequels, it kind of says where Anakin comes from. He came from that.
I carried him, I gave birth, I raised him. I can't explain what happened.
And I can't help but go, there's got to be way more than once that has happened. And sometimes this may have happened in the past and they didn't tell this information. So no one didn't know how to achieve this level of magic and power till later on. I don't mind that.
Hang him.
It's a little sense of believability. But there's the big important scene in episode 3 of The Acolyte that pushes my buttons. Why? The Coven dies. And Asha blames a certain character for that. But this character is hunting Jedi. So, unless this show goes on and answers this question, the Jedi aren't really guilty for what just happened. It's her fault. This is just episode 3. This show isn't done. If the show's done and they clarify on why the Jedi's guilty, but I have to see that. Until then, I don't really have an opinion. on the structure of the storytelling. But I'm not saying this thing is just a crap shack. There are scenes that I admit I did like. Acolyte, how she fights with Jedi. When these fight scenes happen, the Jedi are all reactionary. It's really well choreographed on how they are not fighting, but avoiding a fight. But the meaning and story I'm not getting in the fight, so it's not gripping me as much. So that pro is kind of a con. But in episode 2, where they have a fight scene with her and one of the Jedi, I admit, I had to go, okay, that was kind of cool.
Thank you.
It's not bad, but the characters I don't connect with. And that's my biggest pet peeve. And the fact I consistently am asking the wrong questions. Who are you? Who are you? What's going on? What is this tying into? And what's your point? Really, what is your point?
Why is this happening?
When Star Wars Rogue One came out, the point of that movie was a war film in Star Wars, and it was executed right. And the way how they introduced the characters and their reasons behind them, I could understand. That was good. Not amazing, not perfection, but it was good. But I understood what I was getting. A war film in Star Wars. I don't know what I'm getting in here. Is this a story about the Force? Is this a story about the arrogance of the Jedi? Or is this the story about random characters? I don't know. And I'm not getting any information. Unless I get more information, I don't know what to think. And honestly, I don't want to watch this show. It's very unattractive. In the sense, it's cinematically not there. Musically, it's not bad. But I want more, but it's not giving me more.
More! There isn't any more!
If it wasn't for the channel, I would stop right now, because everyone is boring. But I'm going to give this show my full attention until I'm done with it. So consider this part 1, and part 2 is when I'm done with it. And until I get to the end of The Acolyte, you'll see me again reviewing that. But until that time comes, this is the Bullfrog signing out.